Hello, Miss Parker. Just getting off work. So I was thinking about being the only one. And, I'm always listening to somebody's thoughts or videos on social media. And I was listening to Ashonda at large. And she was showing clips of how some of our people were saying, even she had a testimony about when she found herself being the only black person within a group. And how that was. My mom went way back to when I was a little girl. A little girl with these little dry lips I got. And we lived in Brooklyn, New York. And I had started school over there. So I did first grade, at one school. Second grade, we had moved. By that time, we had moved into this other neighborhood. And it was like a predominantly Puerto Rican neighborhood. And had some Colombians out there. Wasn't too many black people, dark skinned like us out there. And when I was in school, in my class, my second grade class, I will never forget. It was a little black boy and a black girl, and the three of us had to cling together because the other children, they were skin like looking white, fair skinned, and they would tease us and call us, names. Ew, look, they black, and they got the cooties because they black and all that. I still remember it, and I was only in the second grade, and it was very hurtful. And I can remember when the little boy left the school first, and it was just me and the little girl, and then I was shocked because one day my friend, my best friend, her mom came in, and her mom was speaking Spanish. And I was like, what? But then, getting older, realized that she was Puerto Rican, and her mom, they were dark skinned, probably Afro Puerto Ricans. And I just said all that to say this, that I learned then that I did not want to be the only one in any of those environments. So we moved back to New Jersey, and thank the Most High Yah, the area I was in was predominantly black. We hardly really saw any white folks except for at the school. Some of the principals always somehow end up being white. Some of the teachers and police officers, for some reason, but they definitely didn't live in our neighborhood. So I learned early on that I did not want to be the only one. Matter of fact, I don't want to be the only female if it's a group of all males. If you're not part of my family, no, I wouldn't even feel comfortable being the only female with a bunch of males. So I don't know how some of us, still, in spite of what's going on, we are a stiff-necked people. Some of us still, trying to prove the point that there's nothing wrong and all is well. Until your number get called, better be careful. That's all I got to say. Better be careful, because one thing I do know, and from working around them, after I moved to the South, because even when I was up in New Jersey, I really didn't work near them. All the white folks was up in the office and HR or something. They was never on the floor, where I worked, until I came down here. And that's when I started working sometimes side by side, white folks. And then I worked with some for years. And I can remember how they did a about face when Obama looked like he was going to win. Some of them, that was a trip. And then the other ones did a total about face when Trump got in there the first time. So they just let me see how they are. Be careful, because you might think they're your friends, but people are easily swayed under pressure. You don't find too many people that's able to take a stand and be bold and stand under the pressure. They will buckle. They will bulk like it ain't nothing. They're going to go where they can seek comfort, So just be careful. But like I said, I learned at an early age, I did not want to be the only one, because I would never, as young as I was, about seven years old, I still remember them teasing me because of the color of my skin. We'd be playing duck, duck, goose. They didn't even want to touch our heads because we had the cooties, because we was black. Anyway, be blessed until we meet again.